Yo, in the last part, things took a chaotic turn. The group now faces the deadly duo of both Cooler and Frieza, and the battle isn't looking very good for them. With the Tyrants working together now, their overwhelming power is putting everyone on edge. Meanwhile, Turles found himself in a tense situation, standing before Frieza and his old companion Raditz. What will he do now? Will he fight, flee, or make an unexpected move? Found out in this part of what if every timeline in Dragon Ball was merged. The battlefield is in ruins. Craters smolder, the air thick with smoke and blood. The warriors stand battered, barely hold themselves up, as Frieza and Cooler loom over them, untouched and unfazed. Frieza smirks with his arm crossed and he tilts his head, telling them that he honestly expected more. Is this really all the mighty Saiyans have to offer? Disappointing truly. Vegeta grits his teeth, blood trickling down his temple. His pride keeps him standing, but the truth nods at him. They're losing. Goku, however, isn't thinking about winning or losing. His mind is locked on movement, on finding and opening any chance to strike. Raditz stands beside him, frozen in place. His breathing is shallow. His body is tense. His eyes dart between Cooler, Frieza, and Turles. Turles stands apart from them, however, motionless, but there's something different about him. A darkness in his expression, a fire in his gaze. His mind races. He could call Paragus, summon reinforcements to try and shift the tide, but another thought, darker, more insidious, takes hold. His past failures, his resentment. No, this is his moment. As his voice begins as a whisper, then rises into a war. He shouts out, "That's right, I am Turles, the low-class Saiyan warrior, who clawed his way from nothing, and yet he still lost everything. But today he take it all back. Today he ends the lives of everyone who stands in his way." Turles hurls an artificial moon to the sky, its slivery glow spreading across the battlefield. The moment its light washes over them, their bodies begin to contort. Raditz, Vegeta, and Turles screaming their forms expands, muscles tearing through their armor, fingers sharpened to claws, jaws stretched into monstrous maws. In mere moments, three colossal grape apes stare in their place, their glowing red eyes flickering with primal fury. The ground shattered beneath their weight, the air itself trembling from their raw power, and among them, one stands above the rest, Turles. The dreamlike energy still burns within him, twisting his great ape form into something even more monstrous. His aura pulses, dark, violent, an abomination of nature itself. Frieza's sneer falters, his scowl deepening. He says, "Damn that Saiyan, that wretched form," but before he can even react, boom, Turles moves faster than any grape ape should. His fist slams to Frieza's gut, folding the tyrant in half, before launching him skyward like a broken doll. Vegeta and Raditz are right behind him, their rage unleashed upon Cooler. Their attacks are wild, relentless, driven by fear itself rather than strategy. Cooler grits his teeth, barely blocking a strike from Raditz, only for Vegeta to slam a fist into his ribs, skinning him backwards. And then there's Goku. No transformation, no grape ape, no raw power to match him, but he refuses to be left behind. His aura flares red, his muscles tighten, the pressure builds. He shouts Kaioken, no times 10, no times 20. The strain is immediate, his body screams and protests, but he forces himself forward. If he stops now, they can all die. Meanwhile, the human Z fighters, Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, and Chaozu, they don't waste a second. They move in perfect sync, blinding Frieza and Cooler with solar flares, destructo discs, and spirit balls, carving their way through the battlefield. For the first time since the battle began, Frieza and Cooler are losing. Cooler wipes blood from his mouth, while Frieza rises from the rumble. Both their eyes are stone cold. There's such a shift. That anger disappears. The frustration fades. In its place, something far, far worse happens. Frieza wipes blood off his lips. His scowl twists into a dark grin. Cooler rolls his shoulder while letting out a low chuckle. And then their power spikes. The ground splits beneath them, the very air thickens. An oppressive force presses down on everything. It feels suffocating, overwhelming. Frieza snarls, his body expanding, veins bulging, his energy storming around him like a death god's wrath. Cooler exhales, his form shifts, twisting, wrapping, his skin darkens, spikes elongate, his face contorts into something that's almost inhuman. That wasn't his final form like his brother, this is something beyond. This is Cooler's fifth form, and the difference in power is immeasurable. The warriors stumble back while their confidence shatters like glass. Goku clenches his fist, but his instincts are screaming at him. This power, this presence, it feels like they staring into a black hole. Raditz, despite his transformation, feels his resolve slip away. The fire in his chest snuffs out, while Turles Green falters. Even with the Tree of Might boost, even with this rage of his, this is something else entirely. And Vegeta, he says nothing. He doesn't move, he just stares. Cooler raises a single clawed hand and shatters the artificial moon. The sky flickers, a deep gut-wrenching crack echoes throughout the battlefield. The Grape Apes scream as their bodies shrink. Massive forms forcefully rip away. Their power vanishes, their advantage gone. Turles grits his teeth, his mind races still. This wasn't how they were supposed to go. His ace, his best chance, ripped away like it was nothing. The Tree of Might had given him power, but it was nowhere near enough. And now with Frieza still toying with the others, the situation is unraveling fast. He growls, frustration boiling over. His grill tightens on his scouter as he made one final play, one last gamble. He contacts Paragus and he tells him to bring in his sons. Bring him Broly. And before the rest of the group can even react, Frieza lifts a finger, a spear of energy, black, swirling, crackling with annihilation, expands above them. Cooler follows, a second orb of destruction, posted with a deeper, almost primal darkness. The sky darkens, the ground splinters. This is no longer a battle, this is extermination. Cooler smirks, his hand twitching as the energy pulses. He shouts out, "Let's see you survive this, Saiyans." The energy swells, so immense, so cataclysmic that even the planet itself trembles. The warriors can't move, they can only watch. This isn't just an attack, this is the end. Frieza and Cooler hurled their blast downward, and then a blinding light, a force so sudden, so overwhelming that the battlefield itself seems to recoil. A sonic boom shatters the silence, a blur of motion. One kick, so precise, so devastating that the energy orbs veer off course, spiraling into the vacuum of space, vanishing into the abyss. The shockwave ripples throughout the battlefield, and then it's just silence. All eyes widen, the dust begins to clear, and then they're standing where the blast should have erased everything, are figures, tall, unyielding Namekians. But as the light fully dissipates, only one remains at the forefront. His cloak billows, his arms are crossed, his energy is suffocating yet calm, controlled. And when his eyes finally open, when his piercing golden gaze lock onto Frieza and Cooler, there is no doubt, this power, this presence, it has never been seen before. The wind howls across the battlefield, dust and debris settle. The warriors, the tyrants, everyone is frozen. Then a voice that rumbles like a distant thunder, Piccolo speaks. He tells them to get the hell off his planet. A chill cuts throughout the air for a fraction of a second, so brief it could be imagined. Even Frieza and Cooler hesitate. Their expression remain composed, yet something flicker in their eyes. Even though they can't say his key, they can feel it. The pressure of power that Piccolo gives off, the sheer weight behind Piccolo's words, the power that shouldn't exist. And for the first time since they arrived, Frieza and Cooler felt fear. Not long ago, Piccolo had been on the brink of death. His body was shattered by Lord Slug's devastating attack, and he had crashed far, far away, but he landed by two prominent figures, Dende and Nail. Dende wasted no time placing his small hands over Piccolo's chest, with his healing ability flowing to Piccolo's wounds. Warmth began to spread throughout Piccolo's body as the pain faded and his strength returning in an instant. However, Nail did still over him with his arms crossed and his gaze sharp. He was very cautious of Piccolo as he tells him that he was on his way to actually help out with Lord Slug, but it looked like he had been taken care of for right now. That being said, he do have some questions. Piccolo pushes himself back up, still processing everything that just happened, but Nail continues on, telling Piccolo that he know that he the son of Katais, the Super Namekian that was sent away before Name's destruction. But tell me, why is he here? He can sense that he's not corrupt like Lord Slug, but he can also tell that he's not entirely pure good either. So what is his purpose here? Piccolo began to tell Nail that he actually came here to stop both Frieza and Vegeta from attaining immortality. That was the original plan, but what they don't know that we know, all the timeline merged, which created this disaster / chaos in the first place. Nail's eyes narrowed. He could tell that Piccolo was holding something back, but there was something else. Piccolo felt it. Nail's energy. It was unlike anything that he had ever sensed before. Even stronger than Piccolo himself? No, stronger than that. It was reaching a tier of where Lord Slug had been, but it didn't feel like the power of a single warrior. It was layered, complex, almost as if it belonged to many. And then Nail revealed the truth. With Namek on the brink of destruction, with it facing so many powerful adversaries, the warrior Namekians had made a choice. Rather than being slaughtered one by one, they had merged into a single entity, creating a warrior with the combined might of their people. But also, with the chaotic merging of the timelines, something even more unexpected had occurred. Thanks to the Lord Slug movie, it is entirely possible that multiple versions of Super Namekians have been sent away or even survived on Namek. If that was the case, Nail himself could fuse with several versions of them, amplifying his strength beyond imagination. That power that Nail now declared needed to be passed on. To protect Namek, they would have to merge. And with Piccolo's strength already, the results will be beyond anything that they can even comprehend. Without hesitation, Nail led Piccolo to Guru's house. And Nail here, he do want to be the host of this fusion, since Piccolo isn't exactly pure good, but just as Nail was prepared to act as the host for the fusion, Guru raised his hand and actually stopped him. The ancient Namekian, his eyes filled with wisdom, decreed that Piccolo must be the host instead. It was not just his decision, it was destiny itself. The power of Katai's son had only began to surface, and Guru could already see the potential waiting to be unleashed. Guru placed his hand over Piccolo's head, and Piccolo's power began to surge. He felt it. The depths of his true self were still unknown. Even he couldn't fathom the strength that would bear within him. Nail didn't question Guru's wisdom either. He simply urged Piccolo to place his hand over his chest to complete the assimilation. And then it happened. The moment their hands met, a wave of power erupted from their bodies. A blinding glowing aura illuminated the sky, shaking the very foundation of Namek itself. The fusion was completed instantly, but one final act still remained. Finally, with what little time that he had left, Guru turned to Piccolo. Guru instructed Piccolo to place his hand over his chest as well. Through Piccolo's eyes, Guru wanted to witness the fate of his planet, the battle that would determine everything. But Guru did leave Piccolo with a warning. His power would not just change his strength, it would change his very soul. His mind would expand, his wisdom would grow, and he might not even be the same person once this merge was completed. But Piccolo didn't hesitate. The moment that he had merged with Nail, he had already changed. His love for his people, his determination to destroy their oppressors. Everything had been magnified beyond measure. Right now, in this moment, he would do anything to save this planet. And then it was complete. A warrior unlike any before had emerged. No longer just Piccolo, no longer just Nail, no longer just Guru, no longer just a Super Namekian. A being that carried the combined power, will, and legacy of the Namekian people, the ultimate Namekian. Now back in the present, everyone is still stunned, but in an instant, Piccolo moves. Before anyone can even react, he already sees Cooler by the face, gripping him with unrelenting force. Without hesitation, he launches them both far from the battlefield and he utters two words, "You first." The fighters left behind are stunned, but it also gives the Z fighters something, relief. Piccolo knows what he's doing. He always does. And right now, they have a bigger problem in front of them. Without missing a beat, Goku and Raditz explode forward. turn to streaks of golden light as they charge at Frieza, determined to put an end to this once and for all. Their strikes come fast, relentless, punches, kicks, energy blasts, all aiming to overwhelm him. But Frieza, still in his 100% state, he weaves through their attacks without breaking a sweat. The Emperor grins, almost bored, before lashing out with counters so precise that the two Saiyans barely managed to block him in time. Even now, he's still beyond them. From above, Vegeta and Turles dive in, looking to blindside him, but Frieza doesn't even flinch. One upward motion, boom. His fists crash into their bodies, sending them hurling into clouds. The humans move next. A blinding solar flare erupts across the battlefield, a desperate attempt to turn the tide. But Frieza, tired of the same tricks, slipping wastes his hand. A shockwave bursts outward, every single one of them, and launched back, crashes to the ground like broken dolls. As the dust settles, reality sinks in. Even alone, Frieza is too powerful. If this keeps up, they won't last long. Piccolo might return after handling Cooler, but will there even be a battle left to return to? Goku and Raditz pain heavily, exhaustion settling in, but then something changes. Their vision distorts, flashes of what to come flow into their minds. Possible futures. Goku sees it, his friends slaughtered. Screams echo in his head, their final moments itch into his very soul. Raditz sees it, Kakarot dead, Gohan cut down, Turles torn apart, then something else, himself, broken, bleeding. Frieza looming over his corpse, mocking Raditz, calling him a low-class Saiyan trash, not even worth being a foot rub. A fire ignites within Raditz, and suddenly it all clicks. Vada, their father, these visions, they aren't natural. They were planted in their minds not long ago. Raditz's memory snaps back to the Saiyan saga to King Kai's planet. He remembers Vada striking the back of their necks during training, but back then it was nothing. Just a moment lost in their brutal training. But now he understands. Vada left them something, a parting gift, a trigger buried deep in their subconscious, waiting for the right moment to awaken. It makes sense. If Vada could access this ability, why wouldn't he pass it on? He has spent over 1,000 years in the other world, gaining knowledge beyond what they could even comprehend. Would it say that he has a massive foresight and had the ability to pass it on, just like his predecessor? Raditz looks at Goku, Goku looks back. No words are needed, they already know. It raises the key that these visions, these nightmares will be their catalyst. They charge at Frieza again, but this time, the vision intensifies. Goku sees Gohan, a dull beam piercing through his small frame, his eyes lifeless. Raditz sees himself, his own corpse, Frieza standing over him victorious. And then, everything snaps. A scream erupts from the both of them, a war that shakes the battlefield. Boom. Golden lights explode outward, the sheer force of their transformation shaking the heavens. And everyone witnessed this, but they could only stare in shock. Where Goku and Raditz once stood, their bodies now burn with golden fury. Their dark hair ignites into flame like gold. Their eyes are sharp, piercing, teal. Their expression beyond rage. The legend is no longer a myth. The Super Saiyans have arrived. Piccolo returns. The battlefield is quiet, save for the hum of golden energy flickering around Goku and Raditz. Piccolo lands with a smirk, Cooler nowhere to be seen. He dusts himself off and he looks at the two of them, eyes filled with something between proud and amusement. He laughs, telling them it took them long enough. Then his gaze shifts to Frieza. The time is frozen. His crystal eyes dart between the two Super Saiyans and Piccolo. His mind races. He knows exactly what this means. His brother is dead, and shortly he will join him. Frieza stumbles back, shaking his head. He stutters, wait, he will leave this planet. But before he can even finish, Piccolo raises a single hand, an unseen force grips Frieza. His body locks up, his breath catches, his pupils shrink. He's screaming agony. He can feel it, his atoms unraveling, his very existence slipping away. His final scream shatters the silence, and then he is gone. No ash, no dust, no trace, just pure silence. Vegeta and Turles stand frozen in disbelief. How? Not just one Super Saiyan, but two? And this Namekian, a mere footnote in Saiyan history, stand on equal ground with them? How can they be this powerful? Vegeta clenches his fist. He needs that power. He will have it. Turles, however, he is far more uncertain. He gains strength from the Tree of Might, but only one fruit is hardly enough. Worse, Slug is dead, and now he stands alone. If these three really wanted him gone, they could just easily erase him, just like they did Frieza. Piccolo and Raditz step forward. He tells Turles, the Tree of Might is still draining this planet's life force. If this fight had gone any longer, the whole place would have been wiped out. Turles hesitates. Piccolo's eyes narrow. He tells Turles that he won't ask again. With a flick of his wrist, an invisible force slams it through Turles' face. Raditz raises his hand, trying to stop Piccolo, telling him to calm down. Let him answer. Turles scowls. Wiping his mouth, he looks at Raditz. The once low-class weakling now stand before him as the mighty Super Saiyan. His voice drips with venom. Look at you. High and mighty, aren't you? A Super Saiyan? Well, let me tell you something, friend. He steps back, lifting his arm, and presses a button on his scouter. He tells Raditz that you're not the only one. The air thickens, the sky trembles. Two green spears tear through the atmosphere. The ground shakes as they crash beside Turles, dust and debris exploding into the air. As the smoke clears, two tyrant figures emerge. Their forms radiating raw power. One, a behemoth of pure rage, unstoppable, unrelenting. The other, a force of nature, evolve, control destruction. DBS and DBZ Broly. Turles smirks. Let's see how mighty you really are. And before anything else, let's clear something up. Someone did suggest calling DBZ Broly Zeroli to avoid confusion. And you know what? I kind of do like Zeroli. Got a nice little ring to it. So from here on out, we're going to be calling DBZ Broly Zeroli. Goku and Raditz, they instantly power up into Super Saiyans. Golden auras flare as they lock eyes with their new adversaries. Goku attempts to peer into their minds, but Super Broly is nothing. It's almost like that he's not even there. Just pure, unfiltered instinct guiding his movements. So Broly, only destruction. His mind is an endless storm of ruin and carnage. Goku's pressure hardens. He leaps into the sky, shouting to the others, "Find Gohan and leave now." Piccolo adds there's also a small Namekian with him. His name is Dende. Take him too. The remaining Z party hesitate, but Goku's tone leaves no room for argument. But Vegeta, he doesn't move. He watching in stunned silence, and the battlefield is in complete chaos. Yet he refuses to leave. He must witness this battle to the very end. Then, a concentrated ki blast shoots towards him. In an instant, Piccolo intercepts, kicking it away. He shouts at Vegeta to watch out. Vegeta, he barely registers what even happened. And before he can sense it, he can feel it. So Broly is staring right at him. His breath catches, his muscle is tense. That rage is not for Goku in this scenario, it's for him, Vegeta himself. Of course, unlike Super Broly, so Broly remembers. His last memory of playing Vegeta was King Vegeta trying to kill him and his brother. So this time around, his fury is properly placed. So Broly roars and he lunges at Vegeta, but Piccolo intercepts. His fist slams into the Berserker chest. The battlefield shakes and the two collide. Their blows sending shockwaves across Namek. Meanwhile, Goku and Raditz charge at Super Broly. They fight in perfect sync, moving in unison to subdue the monster, but something is off. Super Broly is getting stronger. Raditz's eyes narrow. His movements, his pupil dilation, his raw, animalistic power. It's like he harnessed the Great Ape's power in his base form. That's insane. Raditz jokes saying if he knew about this form before Namek, that this form would have been so useful. But his smirk fades. They sync up for one last attack, a perfectly coordinated attack, golden energy crackling as they strike Broly head on, but it does nothing. Raditz's heart sinks. How? The only one that's holding his own is Piccolo against Broly. The two clash, their fists colliding like meteor impacts. But the longer the battle rages on, the more Broly's minds begin to slip away. He enjoying this way too much. His laughter grows unhinged. His battle lust takes over. The planet trembles beneath his power. Turles watching in horror. Turles shouts at Broly. He tells him to stop his brother. If this keeps up, he'll destroy the entire planet. The Z fighters change confused glances. Why are they fighting among themselves? Then the ground splits apart. Lava erupts into the sky, and from within it, a dark figure emerges. The battlefield goes silent. It's Slug. He's alive, but something is different. His skin is a darker shade of green. Red streaks flowing down from his eyes like war paint. He has evolved. He locks eyes with Piccolo, two super Namekians, both exiled from this planet. Now they both stand upon it once again, both reborn as something new. The planet erupts. Super Broly, he reacts instantly, summoning a bear around himself, Slug, and Turles. The end is coming. Goku lunges at Broly, trying to get him to stop, telling him that this planet can't handle his energy. He dodges the Broly mind once again, but it's nothing. Nothing but chaos, nothing but destruction. Goku heart pounds. This planet won't last. He shouts to the others, he tells them to run, evacuate now. So Broly laughs excitedly as the horizon burns. The very air trembles, the planet itself gasping in its final moments. For a brief second, everything is silent. No screams, no explosions, no movement, just a crushing weight of impending doom. Then the core detonates. A blinding flash consumes everything. Planet Namek is no more. And that's it for this part. What do you guys think about it? Do you like it, love it, or hate it? What do you think would happen with the Z fighters? Did they escape in time? And what about Goku, Raditz, Piccolo, and Vegeta? Were they caught in the explosion? Were they Turles, Slug, and Broly end up? And what's next for this psychotic freak Zeroli? That guy is a true freak of nature. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, especially since this part took forever to write and set up for the next big art. So I'll try to do everything big here. I'll try to add every non-canon thing. So yeah, if you got any questions or suggestions, drop it in the comment section below. And with that, I'm out. Peace.